Well, hello, YouTube universe. How's everybody doing today? First off, I want to say a happy late Independence Day, basically the 4th of July. Kind of an exciting thing. I made it to 300 subscribers. I know it's not a lot, to be honest. I'm not really excited about it, but hopefully I'll get more. My goal is 1,000 subscribers. So please, really, subscribe to my channel. I need more subscribers. And trust me, I will make better videos. I sure will. Anyways, moving on. The summer hasn't been that good. We had a few sunny days and nothing but rain after rain after rain after rain. And then there was Hurricane Elsa. She went from a tropical storm to a hurricane and went all the way to Florida. She was a Category 1 hurricane. In fact, it's so hot where I'm at that I had to buy a fan for work because they don't have air conditioning at my work. I don't know if you've seen the video yet, but this stupid raccoon happened to manage to be able to actually get on my bird feeders at night. Basically, this was taken about 3:35 a.m. while I was sleeping. Another unusual thing I've seen is these mayflies seem to be attracted to the infrared light on the trail camera. To be honest, I should pretty much, if I ever find things like this again, I will definitely post it on YouTube. And by the way, this is not snow. These are gnats. Of course, if anybody did not see the latest drone footage, be sure to check them out and make sure to subscribe to this channel to make sure that you see every single drone footage I have. I post drone videos almost every month. So my Uncle Chad earlier this month had a party. Of course, it was a nice party. It was actually pretty much a 4th of July Independence Day party that he actually had. He had he has a bunch of go-karts, that we actually drive and of course have nice stuff. And he had a train. We actually did had competitions and everything. They had a watermelon eating contest. They had a hot dog eating contest. The stuff that I probably can't do because apparently I have a real bad habit of choking on my food. Turns out the girl named Peyton actually won both competitions. How crazy is that? Believe it or not, my mom actually bought me a hummingbird feeder, and we actually have hummingbirds actually come to the feeder to feast on the nectar. Believe it or not, it's actually a certain kind of nectar that they like. They don't like the ones that have the red dye on it. So please, don't buy the red nectar. For the most of July, we happened to get lots and lots of rain throughout most of July. Till maybe about the 4th week or so, we happened to get some sunshine. But lots of rain, and let me tell you, the radar was probably a lot of rain on the radar. Definitely a lot of rain on the radar. Basically, all this rain that we've been having was actually caused by the moon wobbling, whatever that means. But it actually brought most of the east flooding, and of course, most of the west with wildfires. South was basically threat with hurricanes. It just shows you how climate change is a threat to our Earth's resource. We need to take better care of our Earth's natural habitats. To be honest, it's a major threat of global warming. We need to make John Denver proud from up above. One day I was walking my dog, and one time I actually saw bees actually flying and, of course, pollinating the flowers. And I happened to capture this beautiful close-up of a bumblebee, aka a two-spotted bumblebee, pollinating this daisy in one of my neighbor's yard. I happened to capture this insect too, but it was not a bee, it was some sort of fly. And while I was at Chad's house, I actually captured this Japanese beetle, if it was called, and this beautiful shot of a great blue heron flying up above. So me and Catherine all of a sudden had a 5K race. We had pretty much maybe a good 6 or else 8 weeks of practice. And of course, we ran, and my mom and dad were there to support me as well. So we both had numbers, and of course, we actually started the race. It started at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, if I can say that nice. It was at least a 3-mile marathon. Some of my friends that were there actually ran for a good 3 miles. Me and Catherine, and of course the rest of my group, walked. And to be honest, we ran a few times. But some of my friends ran a whole 3 miles. And I'm pretty sure they actually finished a lot sooner than me. Of course, I'm not a quick runner. I'm not a runner at all. I mostly walked. And to be honest, of course, it was pretty nice to see all my friends finished with the ran. It wasn't even, we actually climbed stairs and everything, and let me tell you, the stairs were really tough. The stairs were probably the most toughest part of the 5K. And so, of course, we ran pretty much halfway to the finish line. We literally thought it was the finish line, but next thing you know, it was just the halfway. You pretty much put you probably put Rocky Balboa music to the video of us running halfway. Of course, we finished a pretty good finish, I guess. I can't really say it's the greatest finish in the world. So I finished a good 1 hour 48 seconds 79 milliseconds, and I finished at 222nd place. Catherine was really close with a finish of 1 hour, of course, 50 seconds and 87 milliseconds. And of course, so she finished about 224 out of 39. 239, sorry. Yep, she did so good. The fact that we did good, I felt like we should kiss. To be honest, I think the whole group really did do good there. 2 days later, me and Catherine actually went to an Indians game. They were playing against Tampa Bay, which was a really tough game. It was actually the day I found out that they were going to rename their team the Cleveland Guardians, pretty much because due to civil rights and racial issues, they had to rename this. Of course, we all know that Chief Wahoo actually was dead before they even were gonna change the name, but I don't know. It's kind of a nice name, but anyways, we actually sat together. Her parents were there as well. It was Dollar Dog Night, so I actually had 2 hot dogs, of course, yeah. And we were actually on the top part of the stadium, which is really cool. We basically actually sat together, and it was really nice because we talked a lot during the game, and we were watching the game and all that. On the other side of our seats, we can see a beautiful view of the Interbelt Bridge, and of course the Hope Memorial Bridge, which was really cool, and I wanted to get a picture by that as well, and it was beautiful. I mean, let me tell you, it was also beautiful to see it at night, but yeah, I'll show those later. Even though it was a Friday night Indians game, we also pretty much saw fireworks for the first time, since they actually never had fireworks, because back then, the last time I was at a game was maybe about a few months ago when they didn't have fireworks because we were in a pandemic and they didn't have a lot of people, so all the people were spread out back then. But then, pretty much a few months later, they decided to have a full capacity. We watched fireworks, and let me tell you, they always have the best fireworks show I never thought I would see in 2021. Of course, some fireworks show happened to end with a big bang. And it was a big bang, and believe it or not, I actually had earplugs on the whole time. And here's the beautiful shot of the 2 bridges lit up at night. Nice bridges for the city. With the wildfires to the west, we happen to pretty much experience the smoke covering what appears to be the sun, or else it looks like the moon. It's actually the sun in the smoky sky. It's hard to believe smoke from the west actually went all the way to here in Ohio, or else the Midwest. And I'm surprised how bad the wildfires, it seems like the wildfires are really bad. Oh, and remember the 5K I ran? Turns out I actually saw a hornet's nest up above me. I freaked out when someone said, "What's that?" And sure enough, I look up and I recognized it was a hornet's nest. It was kind of cool. It's so cool to see an active hornet's nest kind of close up. I'm so glad I did not get stung. Luckily, they weren't murder hornets. And on the last day of my 5K, or the last day of 5K practice, I saw this beautiful buck with a really nice rack. Very nice buck. Turns out it definitely is worth a buck. There was one time at 5K practice where we were walking, it was drizzling, and then it turns out there was a beautiful rainbow. Well, it wasn't beautiful per se, I mean, it was faded, really faded, but you can tell it was a rainbow. So one day I actually heard the cicadas actually sounding, and I went out to actually go to the tree, and I actually took this picture of a cicada on a tree. And let me tell you, my lens was really zoomed far out. And I couldn't even believe that I actually captured. I mean, sure, the cicada is pretty big insect, everybody knows that. And I also shot a video of it singing. Here's a fact about cicadas. They live underground for 17 years, and when it's 17 years they pop out, they actually get out of their larva costume and they actually make sounds on the trees. They mate and they die. That's all they do. They don't eat, they don't do anything, but they only eat off the roots on trees once they're in the ground for 17 years. So, meanwhile, on one Sunday afternoon, me and my dad and my brother Max decided to go see a movie and pretty much have fun throughout the afternoon. So we went to the Atlas Theater in Eastgate Shopping Center, basically the Eastgate Shopping Center in Mayfield Heights, Ohio. And we saw the new escape room movie that is out right now. Then we went right around the corner to Mark's to buy a couple of things there, pretty much food wise. And then, of course, we decided to fill up our Toyota Highlander. We went to Costco. And of course, you all may know what it's like to actually go to Costco to get gas. Always a long line. And pretty much Costco gas station was busy. Next thing you know, we were second in line and the pumps did not work. All of a sudden, did not work at all. So then we're like, okay, I guess we'll just pull out Costco, get gas another day, until all of a sudden, on looking over Ashley Home Store, pretty much, you can't really see in this map because the map hasn't been updated lately. Big, thick, black smoke. And I mean thick. Almost looking like smoke you would see on a house fire. And I recorded it. Sorry for the reflection from the windshield, but let me tell you, I cannot believe what I just saw. It is insanely big. It's almost like something I've seen in 9/11. Nearly 20 years since 9/11. Crazy. Most craziest thing, the Mayfield Village area, some traffic lights were on, some traffic lights were out, which was crazy. The power outage was caused by a substation that caught fire. It was actually the substation that actually is right by the exit to I-271 North. Well guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in August. Let me tell you, I think August is going to be hit because we are going to the Outer Banks. I'll definitely have information about the trip. It's going to be very nice there. I gotta admit, I pretty much am so excited for this trip. Before I go, make sure to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell to get notified for the latest content. You have the option to get notified for personalized videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go to settings and switch on notifications for YouTube. Thanks again for watching and don't forget to Mask up, vaccinate, don't hesitate, America. Stop COVID.